Alrighty folks, we got a collection update video for you today, and I have decided to title this one Collector Scum. Now we're all familiar with that euphemism. I have many purchases that would fall under the Collector Scum moniker, but I've had quite a few recently, and I just so happened to have a batch of them, so I decided to knock them all out at one time. So first on the list, we have Iron Fire, Blades of Triumph, Blade of Triumph. So yeah, I picked this up, promo copy, capitalizing on some shipping. You know, had 2 CDs, same shipping, so I was like, let me look these guys up. I looked them up. I was like, they sound pretty good. I'll give them a shot. The CD shows up. I already owned it. Exact same thing. Promo copy. Completely forgot that I owned this one. That's a sign that you're might be buying too many CDs. Next up, I have Queens of the Stone Age RX. Now this is the 2-disc reissue. I actually forgot when this thing was reissued in this 2-disc format. I believe the original rated R came out in 2000. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to read that. So I was a huge Caius fan. You know, if you know a little bit about the history, when Caius was breaking up and Queens of the Stone Age were forming, they put out a split EP, Caius on one side, Queens of the Stone Age on the other. I kind of, I bought that, of course, hoping that Queens of the Stone Age was going to be similar to Caius. On that EP, they were kind of Caius light, and then they came out with their Queens of the Stone Age album, which was kind of a stoner rock light. And then this album came out, and it was kind of Masters of Reality light, or Masters of Reality-ish, wannabe Masters of Reality. So I was like, I gave up on them after this album. They're not my cup of tea. I know a lot of people like them. I know a lot of people enjoy them. So why, if I don't really care for Queens of the Stone Age, would I buy this 2-disc set? Well, it's because back in the day, when I was still giving them a shot, I bought this Rated X. This was the British import edition. I don't know, there's some questionable photos on the inside of that. I don't know if I should show that gatefold. So yeah, this was the Rated X British import version. Gatefold, I can't show you the gatefold. I think there may be, I know there's lots of boobs in there. There may be something else in there that I'm not seeing that I might get in trouble for. So yeah, I bought this thing, played it a few times, decided Queens of the Stone Age wasn't for me. So this was the last thing I ever bought. And this is like I said, it's a British import. I paid $25 for it back in 2000. So, I mean, it's in really good shape. I don't know if this was a new version. I don't know how this used record shop would have got this thing that quickly, because it was fairly soon after it came out that it was available. Because I remember seeing it and I was like, I didn't even know Queens of the Stone Age had a new album out. So back to why did I have to buy the rated RX deluxe edition? Well, because this British import has a bonus track on it, and the rated R version doesn't have the bonus track on it. And trying to get focused again. They had done an album ranking on Sea of Tranquility, I believe, for Queens of the Stone Age. And that reminded me that I had this vinyl. It also reminded me that it had been 25 years since this thing had came out. So I was like, let me go on Discog and see how much this thing is going for. It's going for more than 3 times what I paid for it. And like I said, I played it maybe 3 times. So I was like, well, I'm gonna sell that. And so I had to replace it, which means I had to get this. Because I couldn't just buy the rated R version because it didn't have the bonus track on here. But there is a bunch of live stuff on here, so it's pretty cool for what it is. Hopefully not all of these are going to take that long to run through. So, also many years ago, I was buying up everything Kai Hansen related. So I got this Unisonic. Well, first let me say that it was supposed to be the 2-disc set, which I believe it was only put out as a 2-disc set from a Mexican label. So I ordered it. This shows up. It's not a 2-disc set. So I contact the seller. I'm like, and this guy, you could tell that he was doing all the stuff third party because he was in Canada, or he was taking payment in Canadian dollars. I had to reship this when I sent it back, or when he wanted me to send it back, but I wouldn't do it because I wasn't going to pay the shipping. So but he wanted me to send it to California. But this supposedly came from a seller in Mexico. So this guy was like buying stuff from people and then having them ship it off and passing it off as his own. So he didn't even have a clue that this thing wasn't the 2-disc set. So I didn't send it back to him. He's like, okay, I'll send you the correct one. And he sent me the exact same thing again. So I've had those 2 copies forever. Then finally, I found somebody that had the actual, I wish I could remember what the label is that this came out on. But yeah, it's from a Mexican label. And see, here it is. Well, you saw the slipcase. Now it's this one, and then this one, For the Kingdom. And at first I panicked because I was like, this is also supposed to have Ignition on it. The EP Ignition. It's the Light of Dawn album, the Ignition EP, and the For the Kingdom EP. And if you look on the back, all of that is listed there. But when you look on here, on the back of this, it's not listed on there, the For the Kingdom EP. It is on there though. So it's just a really bizarre packaging. I mean, a slipcase that has basically, I mean, this is like a digipack and this is a jewel case. Bizarre. But I did finally get the 2-disc set that I was looking for. Then we have W.A.S.P, the best of W.A.S.P. Tony Dio was showing off his W.A.S.P collection, and him showing off his W.A.S.P collection reminded me that there was a cover of Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting on this CD, which it's not available anywhere else. There is 32 songs on here, and I bought this thing for one song because I have the other 31. But it was cheap, but yeah, nobody but Collector Scum would buy a 32 track greatest hits for one track. And then we come to Guns N' Roses. Now, I was a huge, this is called Appetite for Democracy. It is a 2 CD DVD set. Now, I was a huge Guns N' Roses fan back in the late 80s. It kind of started losing me in the 90s. You know, Use Your Illusion. I still stuck with them. I still bought Spaghetti Incident. But after all that turmoil and band members leaving, all that stuff, you know, I just got... Now, I did listen. They actually played Chinese Democracy on the radio quite a bit. Quite a few tracks. And I did not like what I heard. It sounded way overproduced, way compressed. I had no interest in buying it. But then I see this, and of course I love Appetite for Destruction. I have not seen Guns N' Roses in concert since, I think I just lost the old hype sticker. I have not seen Guns N' Roses in concert since 1992. I saw them twice with Metallica. But I saw this and I'm like, well, you know what? I haven't seen them in forever. This is a cool package. Two CDs, a DVD. It's got a bunch of the Chinese Democracy tracks on here. Let me check it out and see if the tracks sound better live than they did in the studio. And for the most part, they did. They do. There's actually a couple of good tracks on there. Doesn't change the production on Chinese Democracy. It doesn't change it. There was also some cool cover tunes on here that they haven't released anywhere else. As far as I know, like I said, I haven't really followed them much since the Spaghetti Incident. The Seekers on here. There was another one on here. Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. It's really kind of a sad version of that song. But anyway, so I started listening to it. I'm like, you know what? This sounds pretty good. Band sounds good. I think it's Bumblefoot doing the Slash impersonation. He does Slash really well. But let me tell you, by the end of the concert, it sounds like somebody is doing a bad karaoke version of Axl Rose. I mean, when the show starts off, you can tell his voice does not sound like it did in 1992. But you know, it's still passable. People's voices change. You know, you expect them to get a little lower, but man, by the time the end of the show comes around, I mean, there's people talking about Axl croaking, and I mean, he's croaking on a couple of these tunes here at the end. And I wish I hadn't put the damn hype sticker up, because now I can't remember. And I think this, I don't think it says it on there. I think this thing was released in like 2008. I may be wrong on that, but I think that's when this thing came out. Man, I can only imagine what he sounds like now. I mean, that's 17 years ago. Crazy. And last but not least, we have the Jethro Tull Christmas album. Fresh Snow at Christmas. Well, media book. Now, when this thing came out, I was like, I'm not going to buy this. Yeah, I knew it was 4 discs, but I thought that it was, well, I mean, it's 5 discs if you count the Blu-ray. But I thought that it was just the original album, which I have here, and then the Christmas at McBride's, St. Bride's, Iron Maiden on the Brain, Christmas at St. Bride's 2008. So I just thought, this is the double CD set. I had this for a good number of years. So I thought that this new Jethro Tull Fresh Snow at Christmas was just these, going to be the two, the 2 CD, original CDs, and then then them remastered. I don't think Steven Wilson did this one. But then when I was pre-ordering the other Jethro Tull, Still Living in the Past, of course they suggest this one, and it was on sale, and then of course I'd start looking at it, and I'm like, shit. There, so it does have the original album, then the remixed album on disc 2, and it has the St. Bride's at 2008, but then it has St. Bride's 2006, which is actually the Ian Anderson band, not Jethro Tull. But still, now it's a disc that I don't have. Now it's on sale, and I have all the other of these, so of course I had to break down and get it. So just some more trials and tribulations from the world of the collector scum. You guys have a good one.